see that? Just look at the subject. Qualifying exam report for fall 2025. Which brings us to today, where we're talking about my comprehensive exam experience because I passed my comps. I passed my comprehensive exam. I want to scream, but I can't right now. But just know I'm very excited. Very excited. Hello, good people, and hello, bookfluencers. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is N.HARV, hence the name of my channel and business, N.HARV, and you're in the right place if you're looking for all things writing and all things education. A little bit about me. I am an 11-time published author. My signature book is Bookfluence: How to Write a Book to Position Yourself as a Leader in Your Industry. So I help educators and thought leaders write thought leadership books. I'm also a book editor, a professional book editor. And the reason why a lot of you guys are here, I am a fourth year doctoral student at Howard University, the illustrious HU, you know. And lastly, I am a traveling writer. So you'll see some travel vlogs from me here and there where I'm traveling to different writing destinations and writing about them. A lot of my work is on Substack, so feel free to follow me there, like a lot of my written work. And of course, my books. All of my books are on Amazon. And my Bookfluence book, the workbook, like the digital book, the ebook, where you can type in your answers and like have your book on the go, that's on my website at N.HARV.com. Okay, I can breathe now. Sorry, I had to rush through the intro. Well, I didn't have to rush through the intro, but I wanted to because I wanted to get it out of the way to get into the meat of today's topic or today's video, which is episode 8 in my Ed.D. Doctor of Education series. And today we're going to talk about the comprehensive exam. Listen, I don't know why I had to say it like that. But anyway, the topic for today is the official topic is my comprehensive exam experience or my qualifying exam experience. And I'm also going to give you a couple of study and writing tips to help you with your comps. Well, they may help. I think they will help. They helped me. But before we get into today's video, let me stop and say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching this series. This Ed.D. series has been very popular on my channel, and I think it's been very helpful and very useful and very valuable to my doc students out there. So I appreciate the love and letting me know that it has been something that you're interested in, and I plan on continuing the series throughout next year. But for this year, 2025, this will be the last video in this series. Episode 8 is the last video in 2025 in the Ed.D. series. Let me say this again, guys, don't worry. I will be back next year. I will pick it back up next year, but it's holiday season right now, and I want to travel and show my travel experiences and start writing non-academic content and recording non-academic content because, you know, I'm a multifaceted person. So today's the last video and episode of this year. Just making sure that that's clear. I'm going to pick it back up, but 2025, today. And because this is episode 8 and we may have some people who are new to the channel, let's do a quick recap of the previous episodes, a refresher, if you will. Episode 1 is where it started. It was the beginning. It is the beginning. And that episode is titled My Doctor of Education Journey at Howard University. Episode 2 is What is an Ed.D. and Why I Chose This Doctorate. Episode 3 is PhD versus Ed.D. Which doctorate is best for educators? Episode 4 is PhD versus other professional doctorates. Episode 5 was special. That was the very first episode where in this series where I featured someone. So my very close friend, Dr. A, she joined me and we talked about why mentorship matters in doctoral programs. And we had a good time. Make sure you check that one out. Well, check them all out, honestly, but that one was very, very special to me and still is. Episode 6 was how years of writing prepared me for my doctoral journey. That episode sort of like merged my two worlds. I am a professional, like I said before, book editor as well as nonfiction author. And yeah, that was a way for me to talk about how my years of writing nonfiction thought leadership books prepared me for academic writing. So that's a good one. And the last episode, episode 7, is where I went live. I went live on episode 6 and 7, and I talked about how to stay motivated during the final stretch of your doctoral journey. Which brings us to today, where we're talking about my comprehensive exam experience because I passed my comps. I passed my comprehensive exam. I want to scream, but I can't right now. But just know I'm very excited. Very excited. I was nervous. I was like, okay, I failed. That's why it's taking so long for me to receive the results because I didn't get them to like until maybe December, and I took my exam in October. So I just was like, okay, I trust you, Lord. I do, but also sometimes the journey is different from what we may think it is or I think it should be. So maybe failure was a part of my journey, and that's all good. But, but, I passed. Okay, and also, before I get into the topic, I know it's so many like disclaimers and so many intros and so many like, will you just get to the point? I get it, but I have to say this because this is the last episode of this year. I'm going to treat it like I treated the first episode, where I would share some information like I'm doing now and then have a vlog attached. So the vlog, I'll be honest with you, is going to be a little bit all over the place because I haven't been vlogging consistently over the past few months. I've been focusing on like this talking head content, the EDD content, but I do have some snippets of some milestone moments like during the comp journey, like during my comps journey. So I have some moments or some clips of me at the library. I also have like me reading the email that said that I passed and, just some memories, if you will, that I don't mind sharing. I have some memories that I won't share, but the videos and the memories that I feel will be nice to share, I'm going to do that. And in these clips, you'll also see what I did for homecoming this year. Homecoming 2025 was non existent for me because I was studying for comps. Homecoming happens in October. And I was like, you know what? I need to focus on this. But I did do one thing, one activity. So I'll show a little bit of that, or I will show that, a clip of that. What else is there? There is an internship requirement for my program. I'm in the Educational Leadership and Policy Studies program at Howard. And yeah, for the EDD program, you have to intern. And that's what I'm doing this semester. So you'll see a clip of my assignment, like a variation or just a piece of my problem of practice at my internship. So I think that's going to be included in this vlog. What else? Just random but very aligned videos of me exploring DC. I'm still exploring. I am a Los Angeles native, for those who don't know. I moved from LA to DC for school. So I'm still exploring the city. Also, bits and bobs of me on campus, just doing things that doc students do, living my life, but it's all a part of the journey. So just a heads up, I'm grabbing my phone for my notes. After this, after you see me talking, you'll see the vlog. The dates are going to be very spread out, but it's all a part of the journey. Okay, finally, let's get into the topic for today: comprehensive exam. My experience. But first, what is a comprehensive exam, aka comps, aka qualifying exam, aka exit exam? I've also heard it be called an exit exam. So, okay, according to the good old fashioned internet, a comprehensive exam is a major assessment used in many graduate programs to evaluate whether a student has mastered the core knowledge and skills of their field or their discipline. Think of it as a checkpoint. You take the exam to prove that you are ready to move on to the next point or the next stage in your program. Typically, that is the dissertation or like your capstone project. It depends on what your program deems as next, but it is your checkpoint. Passing the comps shows that you are qualified to work independently as a scholar. It also demonstrates that you show mastery of foundational knowledge, like in your field, in your discipline. And again, it shows that you are ready to step into your dissertation or step into your capstone project or what's next in your program. A colleague of mine joked and said, it's not just comprehensive, like it's not just an assessment of the breadth of everything that you know or everything that you've learned, but it's like a compilation of all of the books, all of the journals, all of the readings, all of the articles, just all of the resources that you've touched, experienced, learned over the course of your program. Okay, let's talk about how the exam is structured, at least in my program. My program, the Ed Leadership and Policy Studies program at Howard, is one exam. The way that it's structured is one exam divided into 3 sections. You can think of the sections however you want to. I won't go into the specifics because I don't know privacy laws or policies and I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But at the time of recording this, it is one exam divided into 3 sections. I like to think of it as 3 papers. That's just the way that I processed through, but know that it is not a paper. So it has far more weight than a paper. It is more intense than just a paper. But if you want to think of it that way, you can think of it as three papers. Again, not a paper. Far more difficult than just a paper. However, it's just, tricking your mind to think that way. I don't know what it's like for another institution's program or your program, whoever is watching this. So I'm not going to speak on that. And just know that it varies by institution, of course, and it varies by program. I've heard of programs where the comps are spread out over the course of a semester. That's not how it's done at Howard. It is done all at once, at one time. And because it is done at one time or is expected to be completed within one fell swoop, the timeline is a little bit longer than I've heard from other programs. At Howard, you get 1 month. So the entire month of October was dedicated to, and is dedicated at the time of recording this, to completing your comps. In my very, very, very minimal research of comps and doc programs across the US, I put together a short list of features, universal features, and the very first one is broad coverage. A comp exam typically involves broad coverage. The exam broadly tests everything you've learned across your coursework, not just one class. I repeat, not just one class, the entire breadth of your coursework. That's a big deal. That was difficult for me. Next, a comp exam typically involves multiple formats, and the format, naturally, it depends on your program, but there are different types. I just spoke about my exam type or my format at my school, which is a written exam. You also have oral exams. There are portfolios, there are literature reviews. There's also like a combination of these types. So it just really depends on your program, but know that the formats or the types vary. And the last commonality or universal feature of a comp exam is that it is sure to evaluate your readiness, a student's readiness. It's not just about memorizing content. It's not just about memorizing your coursework. It's about thinking critically, assessing whether students can think critically. It's about assessing whether students can apply concepts to real world problems, or in my case, like real educational issues. It's about integrating theories within your field, but also across multiple fields. It's about assessing whether or not students can engage in advanced research conversations. And I have to say this again, passing the comps is a major milestone in a student's doctoral journey, as well as a student's grad journey, because I believe that there are comps in master's programs, like in a grad program, but I'm talking about doc students and doc journeys in this video, in this series. So passing the comps is a big deal. And taking the comps in general, even if you don't pass, that's a big deal. That means that someone, your faculty, your advisor, whomever, they believe that you're ready to take your learning and your theories and your application of knowledge, foundational knowledge, to the next level. It's a big deal. Okay, here's a little bit of a bonus. Not really a bonus, because I said I was going to talk about this in the beginning of the video, but still, hear me out. I have a few study and writing tips that I want to share with you that I really think are going to help you plan and prepare for your comp exam so you won't feel like scattered. But first, let me share a little bit about my experience and just like my planning process, my study process. I'm going to be honest with you, because it was 1 month, like I was given 1 month as a timeline. The first 2 weeks, I took those 2 weeks to really plan, to breathe, and just to mentally prepare. I know myself, I cannot just jump into big assignments, because I have to like go through my my spell of imposter syndrome, and then like go through my spell of crying and telling myself that it's going to be so difficult without even looking at the prompt or looking at things. Sometimes I just go through this cycle of, oh my gosh, it's just going to be so hard. I know it. And it's like, girl, did you look at anything? Did you look at the prompt? Did you look at the assignment? It's a part of my process. Actually, in full transparency, I'm pretty embarrassed by just now sharing this, but I'm going to keep it in the video. That's what I do. Sometimes I cry before I even get to the assignment, because in my mind, I just feel like it's going to be hard. I, listen, I don't know what that is or what that's about. My mom hates it. I hate it about myself, but that's a part of my process with big things. I cry first and then I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I had to give myself, or I chose to give myself like 2 weeks of just breathing and knowing that this is important, but also this is not going to, like, this is not who you are. This is not a marker of your identity. Like, this is just at the end of the day, it's just an exam. And at the end of the day, it does not define who you are. Relax. In those 2 weeks, I also try to get some rest, some sleep, even though in the back of my mind, this was all that I was thinking about. But I did try to relax. I did lots of walking and exercising, moving my body. Also, I attended a travel conference, something that was just so opposite of academia. I watched a few of my favorite feel good movies and just really appealed to Naila as a person because I knew that the following 2 weeks, the remaining two weeks, oh, I knew I was going to be all in. I knew they were going to be brutal with long days, early mornings, long nights at the library. I knew that I would not be in control of my own time in the way that I had been before comps because it was going to be dedicated to studying and writing. And boy, was it. And that balance, the balance of me taking 2 weeks to plan, breathe, and prepare, and then get into it, that balance mattered to me. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do that. I'm just saying that that's what I did and that's what mattered to me. But here are a few things that I do suggest and I do recommend. My first study and writing tip is to be organized. Organization saved me. And I did this before even receiving the prompts, receiving the comp exam. I organized all of my classes, all of my courses by course title. I saved all of the syllabi. Now, this is over the course of my program, actually. In Google Drive, I have all of my courses under the appropriate semester, like fall 2024, spring 2023, etc. I have all of the syllabi. I have all of the major projects and major papers and all of like my notes organized in said folders. Let's just say my organizational leadership class. In that class folder, I have the syllabus. I have all of the resources, all of the journals, all of the articles, all of the notes that were used to write the required assignments for that particular class. Like, it's all organized. And that organization saved me when it came to decluttering my thoughts. What did I do with all of that? Well, for my core classes, I went back and reviewed all of the key assignments for each class, each course. And then I took it a step further and I reread those key assignments. Like, I actually went into the folders and I kind of like skim read some of the papers and projects that were due for each of those classes or courses. That review became my study guide. Tip number 2, the second tip, start with free writing. You guys, after I read each prompt for each section, I opened a blank document, 3 blank documents for each section, and I just started to free write. I dumped all of my ideas, all of what I remembered from my key assignments, and not even what I remembered, but I started to connect the dots from what I've learned, and new information, and I just laid it all out. It was no structure, it was no paying attention to grammar, or and that was hard for me as a professional book editor. But sometimes free writing is necessary to just get the ideas out of your head. And here is a pro tip: when I was free writing, and just when I was actually fleshing out my ideas, when I would close my laptop for the day or for the night, I would write in the comment boxes, like using track changes, write in the comment boxes, like where I left off, so I can pick it back up the next day and I can understand my train of thought the previous day. That's a tip for not only the comps, but for dissertation writing too. Because sometimes you're in a flow, and then you close that laptop and you take a nap or you go to sleep and you wake up the next day like, what was I talking about? No, write down your notes, write down your thoughts before you close the laptop. That way you'll have an understanding of where you can pick up because you have written down where you left off. Tip number 3. Now, I share this with my book editing clients all of the time. Don't write and edit at the same time. Don't do it. Draft first, edit later. Say it with me. Draft first, edit later. The only thing I recommend doing while you're drafting is to lock in your citations. Meaning, if you're writing whether you're free writing or you're writing for real, and you remember like a journal article or something, a reference that pertains to your thought, go ahead and write that down immediately. Write that down and add it to your references page. That way you don't have to do a lot of that work afterward, like when you're trying to submit, when you are like panicked. You can do all of that citation work, references work ahead of time, and do that while you're drafting. That I feel like I did, and that was good for me. It was, I didn't edit while I was drafting, but I did add citations while I was drafting, which helped me out later because I submitted my comp exam at the very last minute. If it was due at midnight, I submitted it maybe 11:58 p.m. So I didn't have time worrying about citations at that time. It was like, okay, this needs to go in. And another pro tip here, which will help with the dissertation process later, is to organize your citations in a spreadsheet and have like the article, the name, the, of course, where you got it from, like the link or the actual book reference, and then have like a little 1 to 2 sentence description on how it connects to your research. And you can also do this with software, but for my people who are old school out there still, a spreadsheet does work. Okay, tip number 4, when you get stuck, go back to reading. If you hit a wall while you're writing, it's okay. Go back to reading. Go back to your literature. Don't force it by trying to just write and make the connection. Go back to the literature, and as you're reading, the connection will rebuild. Tip number 5, include books and authors from your coursework. I mean, this may be a given, but maybe not, because sometimes when we're writing like new information or a new paper, quote unquote, or a new project, we tend to research new references. But my advice is, before you do that, is to go back to all of your syllabi from each course, each class, and pay attention to the assigned readings. Include those books and those references first before you include like the new references. You want to make sure that you're showing, again, that you understand the breadth of your coursework. And a way to do that is to include the assigned readings, because the readings is primarily what you've used to develop your papers and all of your assignments, over time. So that was the foundation of your knowledge in a lot of ways. Tip number 6, change your scenery. Change it. We know this. Your environment affects your focus. If you all of a sudden can't focus at your favorite coffee shop, go on campus. If you can't focus on campus or you just need to switch it up, go to another quiet location and work from there. Or if you prefer to have a noisy location, then work from there. I know some people, they said that they used to go to the food court at the mall because the noise, they treated it as white noise, and it was a great motivator to help them write. I'm not that person. I like to have quiet, but I also like to switch it up. I like to go to my favorite coffee shop when I feel like, okay, I am bored of this, or this is no longer helping me, or I just need to change it up for mental sake. Then I stayed at my school's library. And also, I would find like different venues that I can study at. So I switched it up. And even at the library, like I would have my favorite location, my favorite study room. I would go to another floor, another library floor, or another section of the library. It can be the same building or the same location, maybe just another spot in that building or location. So switch it up. I am a firm believer that a switch up, a change in your environment can reset your energy. So try it. Number 7, plan for flexibility. That's kind of what I did the first 2 weeks. I was like, let me just plan to prepare and to plan and to breathe. But also, especially for women, we may have days where we're not as focused, depending on what phase we are in. You know what I'm talking about? Depending on how we are feeling, how our body is doing, like that matters. Biology, chemistry, all of that matters. So plan for that. Plan, look at the calendar, look at your Flow app, look at your Clue app, whatever. Ladies, men, do whatever you got to do, and plan for the days where you know your energy is going to dip, where you know your motivation may dip as well. It's okay to plan for that. And what I mean by that is some days you may have to double up on your study hours. Like, for example, a Monday where you're feeling good, knock out a lot because you know that the upcoming Wednesday, according to your app, you may not feel as great. So do more than what you were expecting to do on the days that you feel your best. And lastly, my last study and writing tip is do not treat your feelings as facts. Listen, guys, we're human. I will never not acknowledge someone's feelings. Feelings are real. They are very, very real. But feelings are not always factual. For example, you might feel behind. You might feel unworthy. You might feel like me sometimes when I'm crying and I'm just like, might feel like an imposter. That is not true. That's not factual. It doesn't mean that my feelings are not real. I'm just saying I am worthy. I am not an imposter. That's not factual. So do me a favor, check your feelings. They are very real, but also get back to what you know is true. Okay, book influencers, doctoral students, I know that was long, but hopefully it was very helpful. And let me leave you with this. Comprehensive exams are intense. They are. But they're also a moment to recognize what you've learned. You are not starting from scratch. You're pulling together years of growth, years of knowledge, years of coursework. And even still, let me encourage you by sharing with you that it's okay not to know everything. As junior scholars, as scholars, we don't have, I say junior because, we don't have our degree yet. We're not doctors yet, but we do not have to know everything. So release that pressure, release it. You don't have to know everything, but what you do have to do, your job is to think through it. Think through things. We're testing your thinking. It's all about your thinking, your critical thinking. You don't have to know everything, but you do have to think through everything. And that's it for today, guys. Episode 8 in my Doctor of Education Ed.D series. I hope you enjoyed. If you have not watched the previous episodes, go ahead and check those out. I will link all of the episodes in the description below. Now it is time to turn you over into the vlog. Enjoy a few bits of my life as an Ed.D student as I am preparing for the comp exam as well as my internship. Bye, guys. Happy Monday, guys. Sorry my voice is deep. That's because it's very early and I'm doing this before I go to my internship site, but I'm working on a writing rubric and it made me realize that, okay, this is like an example of impact outside of the classroom. Like, of course, I'm not teaching. This is only the internship for, not only, but I'm working on site. The internship is a part of my program. But, and let me say this, I may not be a teacher, but I am absolutely an educator because I'm still working on, as you can see, rubrics and just curriculum and things that are a part of students' success, like their success. So it's a reminder that there is influence and impact in K-12 outside of the classroom. And that's big for me because I went to school to teach, to learn how to teach or to just improve upon my teaching. So now I'm learning different ways, which is a part of my dissertation too. I'm learning different ways of teaching students or of educating students in writing specifically or in ELA that does not involve me being in the forefront of the classroom as a teacher. So just wanted to show that like this isn't real. Let me do this because I don't want any screenshots to be taken, but I'm happy because I'm like, Naila, like even though I love teaching and I probably will go back to it, I just love having options. So guys, I just got in the car. Like I literally just left the high school, my internship, and I am inspired. This program has taken me up and down on this educational roller coaster and just this career roller coaster. And I'm like, how do I merge educational leadership and policy, especially when I was not groomed, but I went to school to be a classroom teacher. But I gotta tell you, this internship is helping me connect the dots. I just finished helping, like before I left the school, the supervisor. Well, first of all, the rubric went over well. I mean, there were different iterations of it, but I love to give people like, as a book editor, I'm always like, I don't get offended when there are going to be multiple iterations of a thing because I understand that's the process. So the fact that I gave them a good base, a good solid base to work from, it's like, okay, that makes me feel good because I'm like, I gave you the foundation. Now you can pull it apart however you need. If the foundation wasn't good, then it's like I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what direction to go from here. But when the foundation is solid, it kind of like generates new ideas and things. So I take that as a compliment. And then from the writing rubric, the supervisor and I developed like a plan to present the information to the tutors. So that kind of like puts me in a leadership position, right? Ed leadership, to like go over what will work, what wouldn't work. I forgot to get a copy of some student writing, like student example writing examples. Jeez, I forgot to get that so I can kind of like study it before I go back in this week. That's okay. So I have to develop a plan to present to the tutors, and then we're going to go over how we're going to implement the rubric. I mean, simple enough, right? But also how to use the rubric to help to improve students' literacy, like how to use that to gather data and then align the data, etc. All of that stuff. So the data of it all is kind of like, okay, I like that. I like it. I'm still working on incorporating the policy. I mean, I have my ideas and I have experience in the policy sector. Very small, very minimal experience, but experience nonetheless. So the dots are connecting. I'm enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, but I feel good. Today felt like, okay, all those years in the classroom, it felt like, okay, my experience as a teacher, and as a leader in my own right, like in my business, I know how to guide teachers. I know how to talk to teachers. I know how to create rubrics, and I know how to outline and develop plans and all of that. Like I can do that. That is easy. Simple, I should say, not easy, but that's simple to and for me. So it's looking good. We have in-person class today, so I'll be on campus. It doesn't happen often, but today just so happened to be a day where class is in person, so it all worked out. Let me just woosah, relax, celebrate the win that happened today, and not think about the work that I have to do when I get home after class. So yes, come along with me. Well, I am on the yard. I am on campus, heading to class. I am tired, but I am here. Whew, guys, sometimes the days are long. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I'm here. I don't know, something about hearing the bells, I'm always like, it's time to go. It's time to get ready. It's time for class. This is my comps starter packet. iPad, laptop, notebook, and textbooks. All right, guys, this is my first and probably my only homecoming event this year, 2025, because I have comps. And I thought this was going to be the actual event title, but that's okay. I'm going to Bible study. It's a homecoming Bible study today.
Let's open our hearts as we open this pulpit. Help me welcome our teacher and friend, Dr. Harold D. Good to be here. It's good to be anywhere. I thank God for the privilege of being with you all tonight.
Happy Saturday, lovely people. It is November the 15th, and I am recording this is 5th episode of my Ed.D series on YouTube. So if you're watching YouTube, then you have hopefully seen the series, but we have a special guest for today. Yay! a little bit of
Hi,
a
everyone.
behind the scenes action. This is Dr. A. We're going to talk about what we're doing later on in the vlog. But yeah, just, you know, I'm always working. You haven't seen me in a little bit, but I'm still working, guys. Still working. Now,
Hustle. She's in hustle mode, family.
come on,
Hustle.
guys. The semester's not over. I am doing my schooling. I'm doing my business. I'm doing my YouTube. I'm doing everything. So just wanted to show you guys.
And she's being a friend to me. That's a whole hat by itself. It's a full-time job.
Hello. Do not neglect your social life. So yeah, I will catch you guys later on in the vlog, but just wanted to say happy Saturday. I'm still moving, I'm still shaking, I'm still alive. Ooh, you guys haven't seen my face in a long time. Happy Sunday, lovely people. It is December the 7th, maybe, but I am actually meeting one of my colleagues. She's not in my cohort, but, oh no, she's in my program, my same program, but a year, below. I am a year above her. I don't know how to properly say that, but yes, we are going to just catch up. Also, in my last, is it my last? Yeah, my last video in the Ed.D series. What was the title? The title is How to Stay Motivated During the Final Stretch of Your Doctoral Program. And I shared a tip on building an accountability system, and this is a part of my accountability system, is to meet with colleagues and meet with my cohort sisters and keep each other accountable, sure, but also just to release, you know, because this program is tough. Any doctoral program, I imagine, is tough. So sometimes you just need to know that you're not alone, and you just need to know or hear that you'll be okay. Keep going. Stay motivated. So that's what today is. And yeah, we're at South Block in Alexandria. This is my first time visiting South Block, so I'm excited about that. Apparently it's like a big deal in the DMV area. I didn't know that. So yes, I would say come along with me, but I may not record just because I want to respect her privacy, and also because I don't know, I just want to kind of, I may cry. I may talk about something that's personal. I don't know. She may talk about something that's personal. So I want to leave space for that, leave space for private conversations offline. But I at least will show you like what the establishment looks like. But yes, I'm going to close the vlog here. All right, I got distracted. This truck is parked so close to me. Why are you so close, buddy? Anyway, happy Sunday. I will catch you guys in the next vlog. Thank you for watching my series and just enjoying the journey of my life as an Ed.D student with me. It's been a pleasure sharing certain, highlight reels of my journey. And yes, the next few vlogs will be travel vlogs. It's holiday season, so thankfully I have a few travel plans that are in the works, and I'll be doing a little bit of traveling and writing. Oh, what is this? Yes, so the next few vlogs will be travel vlogs, and then I'm going to ease back into nonfiction writing, while we have that gap between the next semester. So stay tuned. If you haven't already and you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it with someone who just may need to not only be entertained, but be encouraged to know that you're a whole person if you're in a doc program, and it's okay to live your life to the fullest. Guys, until the next video, happy writing. Okay guys, do you see that? Let me zoom in some more. I don't want to get the name on the email. That's why I have the paper like hiding it. But do you see that? Just look at the subject. Qualifying exam report for fall 2025. It is Wednesday, December the 3rd, 2025. I have been traveling and I just checked my school email and okay, let me read it for you guys. Dear N.HARV, I am pleased to inform you that you have passed all parts of the fall 2025 Doctoral Comprehensive Exam, aka COMPS. Below are the results of how you scored. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so excited. I passed. Doctoral students all over the globe. This is hard work. A doc program is hard work. This is not easy, but It's possible. I didn't think I was going to pass. Like this, it's December. I took my comps in October. I thought they were taking forever to get back to me because I failed. That's my fault for not believing God. But I'm not going to cry. I am going to cry. I am at my internship, the high school in DC, and I just wanted to officially close out the vlog with this beautiful display. Merry Christmas, family. See you in the next vlog, but school is out.